What is up, baseball fans? Chris Jardine, a.k.a. Snaggle J here, Director of Live Content Services for Out of the Park Baseball, back with another episode of our flagship program. This week in Perfect Team, it is episode number 97. It is November 5th, 2020. I appreciate all you guys for taking time out of your very busy Thursday to come by the show. First thing I want to do real quick is I want to shout out a group of content creators that have made streaming our game a lot of fun. Guys, if you have never checked out, if you're a fan of the conventional game, the online leagues, and you have never checked out the Pro Baseball Experience on Twitch, they are amazing at what they do. They have a huge online league. I think they're in like season 20 something. It's crazy. They've done it with a bunch of different versions of the game. I'm going to post a link in the chat. You can check them out over at twitch.tv/pbesim. They're live several nights a week. Like I said, I've watched their stuff for a long time. I really love what they're doing. If you're looking for, again, a really cool online super experience, I definitely recommend you go check out their Twitch channel. Like I said, it's in the chat, twitch.tv/pbesim. They're doing some really fun stuff with Out of the Park Baseball. They are definitely worth checking out. You know what else is worth checking out? The content that we've got coming in tonight. It is the community voted Perfect Team of the Year. All of these cards were voted on by you guys, the Perfect Team Universe, at each of the positions. We are going to reveal them all here on the stream, and then they will be in packs in 57 minutes time at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So we're looking forward to that. They're really, really good. We got lots of great stuff coming up all throughout the month of November. Even though we're getting into the colder, more wintry months in some parts of the world, the content is going to stay hot, hot, hot. Next week, we've got a set of mustache players. The week after that, we've got hardware heroes. And then the week after that, listen, 3 weeks from tonight. Will be the 100th episode of This Week in Perfect Team. November 26th, 3 weeks from tonight, for TWIPT 100, the 100th episode extravaganza. It's going to be amazing. I definitely recommend that you check it out. It's going to be super cool. Can't wait. Cannot wait to kick your guys' Thanksgiving holiday weekend off with some 100th episode magic. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. But that's a few weeks. It's going to be tonight. The votes have been counted. They were all cast in time. They've been adjudicated. They've been double checked. They've been double checked by people wearing red, people wearing blue, people wearing every color shirt. They are here. They are representative 100% of what you guys wanted for the Perfect Team of the Year. Let's jump in. Let's start with the... there's no recounts, although, I'll tell you what. There's some pretty close battles. Starting with behind the plate. We had a really close battle at catcher. At catcher, the nominees were Salvador Perez, Will Smith, James McCann, JT Realmuto, and Travis d'Arnaud. And the winner is, with 31.8% of the vote, JT Realmuto of the Philadelphia Phillies. Will Smith gave him a run for his money with a 25.5%. But JT Realmuto, with 40 additional votes, is the Team of the Year catcher. Realmuto got off to a white-hot start at the beginning of the season. Kind of tapered off later on in the season, but he was white-hot at the beginning of the season. Let's take a look at his card. 84 contact, 67 gap power, 106 power, 63 I, 60 void Ks. Left-handed, not left-hand, heavy left-hand, leaning with the splits. in contact, especially only 2 points. A little bit more heavy in with the gap power, the eye, and then right hand heavy on the avoid case. And you look at that defense, 134, 134 catcher defense. Amazing. PB Sim, speaking of which, with the big boy rave, thank you very much. Guys, again, check them out. I'll post a link in the chat one more time. Make sure you guys go check them out. Give them a follow. They're definitely worth it. So again, we're starting behind the plate. We've got... why isn't that working? Do I not have the right link? It is working. We're good. Don't worry about me. So there you go. JT Real Muto is our first community voted team of the year card. Next up, let's go to first base. First base was no competition whatsoever. The nominees were Freddie Freeman of the Braves, Jose Abreu of the White Sox, Brandon Belt of the Giants, Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals, and Dominic Smith of the Mets. And the winner, with 75.9% of the vote, is Freddie Freeman of the Hotlanta Braves. 114 contact, 121 gap power, 108 power, 106 eye, 77. Avoid K's right-handed heavy on all of the splits, 120, 126, 114, 112, 80. Definitely has to be in the conversation as one of the best right-hand pitcher hitting bats in the game. He's got the 22 speed, 69 stealing, a little bit of defense at first, 89 position rating, only 38 range though, 77 air, 74 arms. So definitely with the low range, going to be a bit of a defensive liability. But again, if you're playing him, especially against righties, he is going to be well worth his weight in gold, as the card says. But yeah, 75.9% of the vote for Freeman. Closest to him was Abreu with 14.9%. Now let's move. Let's keep it. We're going to go right around the infield. Next up, this is a hotly anticipated card. Ladies and gentlemen, our nominees at second base. DJ LeMahieu of the New York Yankees, Brandon Lau of the Rays, Kevin Biggio of the Blue Jays, Cesar Hernandez of the Indians, and Jake Cronenworth of the Padres. And you will know, I did not rig the vote, so Biggio won, just so you guys know. The second baseman of the year in the community voted balloting with 62.3% is DJ LeMahieu. Had another great season with the Yankees. 112 contact, 88 gap power, 87 power, 63 eye, 89 avoid Ks. And then some pretty elite-looking defense at second base as well. 88 range, 118 air, 75 arm, 80 turn down play. Probably not viable, especially at the upper levels, anywhere but second. Again, the 75 arm is going to kind of hold him back from moving to short or third. At the lower levels, it might be okay to get him up there and train. Some guys are going to be eyeing him up, probably to play him at first base as well, which will be interesting to see how teams of all variety deploy him. Again, these cards are going to be in packs, so anybody's going to be able to pull one of these bad boys here when they go in packs at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So it'll be interesting to see how people at the various levels deploy this card. If you guys want to know the best way to deploy this card, why don't you guys stick around, because after the show, you can go over to DRC Nomads and Your Kidneys show This Week in Perfect Team, where they break down everything that I show. They do an amazing job. We're going to be going over there afterwards, so they'll probably have a little more in-depth statistical analysis of what you're probably going to want to do with this card. So again, they're more trusted in that particular field than I am. Let's move over now to shortstop. Shortstop had a very interesting ballot. Dansby Swanson of the Braves, Fernando Tatis Jr. of the Padres, Tim Anderson of the White Sox, Trevor Story of the Rockies, and Trey Turner of the Nationals. I'm kind of surprised, but not surprised, at how not close this particular group was. I know a lot of people, the hype was really around Fernando Tatis Jr., especially earlier in the year. I think he started white hot. There was the bat flip thing, kind of pissed some people off. Going deep in the 7-0 game, kind of pissed some people off. But with 70.6% of the vote, our shortstop of the year is Fernando Tatis Jr. 94 contact, 86 gap power, 121 power, 73 I-55, avoid case, 75 speed as well. 82 stealing, 73 base running, and some pretty acceptable defense. 83, 84, 99 arm, and 80 turn double play. The chain defies gravity. Sometimes those action shots kind of makes for some weird images on the card. For sure. Now, next up, we're going to go to what was the closest vote by far. 639 ballots were cast for the team of the year voting, and third base came down to a difference of 1 vote. 1 vote was the difference at third base. The ballot included Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Indians, Gio Urshela from the Yankees, Manny Machado from the Padres, Anthony Rendon of the Angels, and Ke'Bryan Hayes of the Pittsburgh Pirates. But by a score of 214 to 213, your third baseman of the year is Manny Machado of the San Diego Padres, completing the Padres' left side of the infield. How is Arenado not on the vote? Because he had a crappy year compared to the other 5 that were on the list. 94 contact, 84 gap power, 116 power, 73 I, 78 avoid. You guys are booing yourselves. If you boo, you guys are booing yourselves. You guys voted for these. A lot of people asking about Rendon. Second was Ramirez. Ramirez was 1 vote short. And then Rendon was in third Machado had 33.5%, 33.3% for Ramirez, 1 vote in the difference. And then 14.2%. So Rendon not really close at all. Almost 20% behind first and second place. Interesting little card here split-wise. Contact is even. Gap power goes left-handed. Power goes right-handed. Eye is pretty even. Avoid case goes left-handed. Some interesting defense here as well. 105 arm, 88 air, 78 range. So not terrible. Not super great either. But definitely not anything to get super duper excited about. Now, speaking of something that you're going to want to get super excited about, let's go out to the outfield. Let's start in left field. Very, very intriguing ballot in left field. Dylan Moore of the Mariners, Juan Soto of the Nationals, Kyle Tucker of the Astros, Jeff McNeil of the Mets, and Eloy Jimenez of the White Sox. Very interesting ballot. Lots of guys from all, you get the more household names of Soto and Jimenez. You got Kyle Tucker, who's kind of emerging a little bit. McNeil, who just seems like he's always around. But with 68.2% of the vote, the left fielder team of the year is Juan Soto. 120 contact, 115 gap power, 135 power, 125 I, 75 avoid Ks, and really pretty even across the board. Couple of points in right-handed for pretty much everything. 5 points of contact, 3 points of gap power, 4 points of power, 3 points of I, 2 points of avoid Ks. Pretty acceptable defense in outfield. I seen somebody ask, how come only 68.2%? as we've learned every time we do these, I think if you look back, we did the perfect team of the year this way last year as well. Anytime we have a community voted thing, there is always a certain segment of the community that they'll vote for. For example, Jimenez got 13.5% of the vote. Dylan Moore got 6.9%, because a lot of people think it would be really cool to see that card. I don't think necessarily people vote for Jimenez or Dylan Moore or Kyle Tucker because it's a slight against Soto. I just think that they would want to see those other cards. We see this every single time. Every single time we do community voted stuff, it's never unanimous. I mean, realistically, Freddie Freeman got 76% of the vote at first base. Jose Abreu had a really, really good year, but Freeman ran away with it. Abreu got 14.9%. Again, we always see people who want to go against, again, and I don't think they're doing it because it's a slight against Soto, but it's just they want to see something a little different, right? That's all. And I totally understand that. That's why we do the voting. We did it for the team of the year last year. We did it for the community request battle earlier in the year. There's just people that like to go against the grain. It's one of those things. And you get fandom that goes into it as well, right? For me, if I was voting, not that I have a say, I'm not going to vote for players on teams that I don't like. That's just me. And there's probably a lot of people. That do the same. For sure. Let's go to center field now. Another interesting ballot full of center fielders. We had Trent Grisham of the Padres, Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Braves, Jackie Bradley Jr. of the Red Sox, George Springer of the Astros, and Byron Buxton of the Twins. Again, not a particularly close vote in this one. 67.4% goes to Ronald Acuna Jr. And again, the big glaring weakness on this card is the 47 avoid Ks, but everything else is a lot to like. 92 contact, 96 gap power, 137 power, 112 eye, 83 speed, 88 stealing. Really good defense in center and right field with 97 range, 81 air, and 90 outfield arm. Excuse me. The splits, I think everything leans left there to a certain degree. 5 points of contact, 3 points of gap power, 6 points of power, 3 points of eye, and a point of avoid Ks. I need this card on my pack-only team. I could use literally any of these cards on my pack-only team would be an upgrade. For sure. For sure. Let's round out the outfield by singing over to right field. On the ballot, we had Mookie Betts of the Dodgers, Mike Yastrzemski of the Giants, Michael Conforto for the Mets, Alex Verdugo of the Red Sox, and Bryce Harper for the Phillies. And with 62% of the vote, our right fielder is Mookie Betts. 97 contact, 81 gap power, 122 power, 75 eye, 81 avoid Ks, 58 speed, 84 stealing, 96 base running, 96 range, 100 air, 97 arm in the right field. Now, I know what people are going to ask. I don't think it has any. Let me see. I'm looking. I know somebody's going to ask. So I'm going to look it up. It'll take me just a second. Open card screen, sort by number. Scroll up. Who's this? Betts? Ratings? He has infield ratings, but they're not very good. 49 range, 47 air, 71 arm, 39 turn double play. Not a viable option in the infield. Not a viable option in the infield at all. Let's keep on moving on now. This is the first year that we have had universal DH in both leagues, which expands the pool of potential DH options. The balloting included Jesse Winker of the Reds, who had a Team of the Month card, Player of the Month card in the first month of the season for us. Franmil Reyes of the Indians, Michael Brantley of the Astros, Nelson Cruz of the Twins, and Marcell Ozuna of the Braves. This one was not super close, but close enough. But with 49.1% of the vote, Marcell Ozuna is your technically left fielder, but DH of the year. Again, taking advantage of the fact that he could DH in the National League, which was extremely helpful for the Braves, who have a very crowded young squad. 116 contact, 88 gap power, 124 power, 90 I-62 avoid Ks. Left-handed heavy. 10 points extra of contact. Gap power's even. 17 points higher of power. 1 point I and 4 points avoid Ks. A very, very nice card. Had an amazing season for the Braves. Picked up on a relatively, I think he only had a 1-year deal. Great deal for the Braves. Really played really well for them. Ended up, what did he do? What did he do? He led the league in home runs and RBIs and total bases. So not a bad year with Atlanta for sure. For sure. Now let's move over to the pitching side of things. Starting pitcher of the year, we had you pick two. One of them was painfully obvious very early in the balloting where it was going to be. The other one ended up being both a surprise and very, very close. So the ballots included Shane Bieber of the Indians, Hyunjin Ryu of the Blue Jays, Max Fried of the Braves, Zach Wheeler of the Phillies, Zach Gallen of the Diamondbacks, Garrett Cole of the Yankees, Trevor Bauer for the Reds, Yu Darvish for the Cubs, Jacob deGrom for the Mets, and Lance Lynn for the Rangers. So first up, with 72.1% of ballots, we've got the Biebs, Shane Bieber. 154 stuff, 80 movement, 87 control, fastball, cutter, curveball, slider, changeup, a 98 fastball, and a curveball and changeup, both in excess of 100 on the rating scale. So going to get a very these will not be live. No, they are not live cards. He's definitely going to get if you decide to deploy him in a bullpen role, you're going to get a nice little bump in the stuff department as well. Now, the next part of the ballot really was a 3-horse race. Well, really only a 2-horse race. Well, kind of a 3-horse race between Trevor Bauer, Yu Darvish, and Max Fried. But with 31.8% of the vote compared to 27.7% for his next closest competitor, the second starting pitcher is Max Fried of the Atlanta Braves. 128 stuff, 88 movement, 91 control, fastball, curveball, changeup. A lot of people have mentioned that he doesn't have the slider. But what you got to remember is that, first of all, he only really started throwing the slider last year, and all of those databases are updated manually. So it is something I brought to the dev team's attention that we'll have to get input into the main database. I know they're going through and trying to update the pitching repertoires and stuff for a lot of people. But that is a manual process that we go through. So just so you guys kind of get a little bit of something in there. So there you have our two starting pitchers. So now let's go to the bullpen. reliever of the year was very close. A lot of very intriguing options. Next, behind Fried was Bauer, and then Darvish, and then DeGrom, Cole, Ryu, and then Lynn, Wheeler, and Gallen all had less than 5%. The reliever of the year, very interesting. So on the ballot, we had Jake Diekman of the A's, Chris Martin of the Braves, Devin Williams of the Brewers, James Karinchak of the Indians, and Tanner Rainey of the Nationals. And I'll tell you what, this one was spread a lot. This is the only category. This is the only category other than starting pitcher, which is a little different because it was vote 2. The only category where 3 players had more than 20% of the vote. If you were looking to have a runoff, this would be the category where you would have a runoff. At 22.1%, we had Jake Diekman of the A's. The runner-up had 24.3%, but the winner with 35.8% is Devin Williams. Karinchak was second with 24.3, but Williams is your perfect team of the year reliever. 158 stuff, 91 movement, 70 control, fastball, slider, changeup. Right-handed heavy, especially in the stuff with 162. A little bit right-hand heavy with the movement as well. 2 points, 1 point of control, so really not that bad. Definitely Devin Williams completely burst onto the scene like a absolute madman in the back end of the Milwaukee Brewers bullpen this year. He was absolutely insane. Listen to this line this year for him. 4-1. In 22 games, he pitched 27 innings, had a .33 ERA. He allowed 8 hits in 27 innings. 1 run, 4 runs, 1 earned in 27 innings. Had 9 walks and 53 strikeouts in 27 innings. Absolutely insane. Extremely well-deserving of the perfect team reliever of the year. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have our closer of the year, the oft-forgotten closers. On the ballot, we had Brad Hand in Cleveland, Liam Hendricks of the A's, Josh Hader of the Brewers, Alex Colomé of the White Sox, and Trevor Rosenthal for the Padres. And with 52.9% of the vote, our closer of the year is Liam Hendricks of the Oakland A's. 147 stuff, 90 movement, 97 control, fastball, curveball, slider, circle change. Right-handed heavy on the splits across the board with a 10-point bump in the stuff, 5-point bump in the movement, and a 4-point bump in the control. He's got the 17 stamina. Hey, he's got 25 contact. 25 contact as well. So, you know, if you ever get in a pinch, not saying you would want to, but I'm just saying you could if you ever got into a pinch. So there you have it, folks. Our 2020 Perfect Team of the Year, again, completely voted by you guys. I always enjoy doing these. I love giving you guys the power, letting you guys decide, which cards you guys think are the best. Obviously, the big thing to note, versus if you were a PT20 player, versus a PT21 player, these cards are one of the biggest complaints about the team of the year last year was that they just weren't very good. They weren't playable. They were not cards that people wanted to use. Well, obviously we ratcheted up the quality of the cards this year. There are some really, really nice ones in there. A lot of people would be super excited to be able to grab any number of these cards off of the list. I look forward to seeing how people are going to use them. Look forward to seeing what DRC and Kidneys think of them when they go live here in a little bit. Again, you're going to be able to catch This Week in Perfect Team coming up very soon. Again, we've got a lot of fun stuff. Coming up here this month. We have 12 weeks of content left. 12 weeks. We got so much fun stuff. We got a whole bunch of mission programs left coming up in the weeks ahead as well. So looking forward to that. I know you guys are super excited about all the things that we're going to have coming up here in the weeks and months ahead. Again, we have a entire mission program. There are no missions this week. There may be missions next week. I can't say 100% for sure. There are no missions this week. And there is a potential for missions next week. As always, I'll let you guys know. Generally speaking, and here's the thing. I've seen probably 30 people ask about missions. If there's missions, I will usually explicitly say there are missions before. And again, they are not in packs. They do not go into packs until 10 p.m. Eastern time, which is our new policy. You no longer need to ask if things are in packs. They will never be in packs during the show ever again. Everything from now on will be going live at 10 p.m. Eastern time. We will no longer be putting cards into packs until after the show is completed. For a variety of reasons that I've explained before. But again, we got a great set next week coming up with it is Movember. If you guys are not familiar, Movember is a huge now charity. They call themselves the face of men's health. I'm sure you can find somebody. I know a lot of people who are in the Discord who are raising money for Movember. So it's a great month to celebrate some of the greatest mustaches in MLB history. It's going to be a fantastic. I'm sure you guys are going to love. You guys can probably, take a look at some of the greatest mustaches over the course of MLB history. 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to have the Hardware Heroes set, which is going to... No, I don't do Movember. This isn't going anywhere. What else do we got? Yeah, so 2 weeks from tonight is Hardware Heroes. And then 3 weeks from tonight is TWIPT 100. Guys, stop trying to use the mod commands. It's not going to work. You got to be a mod to use the mod commands. If you have packs already, that's fine. As long as you don't open the packs until after 10 p.m. Eastern time, you're good. If you have packs if you won some tournaments today or yesterday, or you bought some packs earlier today, you haven't opened them yet, that's cool, because the cards in the pack are only determined when you click open. No, I will not shave for charity. No, sorry. I do my charity raising on other platforms. I used to do Movember, but I don't anymore. I do the Extra Life stuff, which I'm doing this weekend. And, yeah, I'm doing the... Rich is not streaming tonight. No. Rich will no longer be streaming on Thursday nights, as far as I know. I can't confirm that 100%, but I know it's not in the immediate play. Okay. That's going to do it. We're going to get up on out of here. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Again, that's going to do it for me. We're going to go hang out over at DRC Nomad's channel. Him and Your Kidneys are going to break down all the content you just saw on This Week in Perfect Team. Again, everything will be live in packs in 25 minutes. There was a prize for voting. I gave it away to the Discord because the Discord, it was a Discord user, Bert, BRDDDT, won the 50,000 perfect points. So that was already taken care of. Again, guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Great rest of your Thursday. If you're brand new, make sure you guys follow the channel down below. And yeah, until next time, I've been Chris Rady, aka Snaggle J, Director of Live Content Services for Out of the Park Baseball. And until next time, keep swinging for the fences.